Here are the 10 highest-grossing movies of all time. 10. The Avengers, 2012. Remember when big superhero team-ups felt novel and not just a given of every franchise film? 2012's The Avengers kicked off the super team movie agenda, bringing together heroes like Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow and the Hulk to fight off a big bad Tom Hiddleston's Loki, a thrilling villain carryover from Marvel's first big Phase 1 offering. 9. The Lion King, 2019. In the canon of Disney live-action remakes, The Lion King is perhaps the oddest and most confounding. Its hyper-realistic Saharan slice of life simply wasn't as moving or as fun as the animated classic. They really said, "Let it go, huh?" 8. Jurassic World, 2015. As with all defining classics, as the prophecy foretold, they will get some kind of 2010s remake. Our first reintroduction to Jurassic Park, now an all-bells-and-whistles SeaWorld-esque theme park, was followed by 2 further sequels, but only its first outing broke into the exclusive club of highest-grossing films of all time, running away, in heels, with more than $1.6 billion. 7. Spider-Man, No Way Home, 2021. What happens when you get not 1 but 3 Spider-Men in your movie? It also yanked together a bunch of classic villains, like Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin and Jamie Foxx's Electro. 6. Avengers, Infinity War, 2018. When the stakes keep getting higher in your intergalactic team-up of superhero proportions, naturally, the take-home will be bigger too. Ending on possibly the biggest cliffhanger the superhero world has ever seen, this installment took home more than $2 billion at the box office. 5. Star Wars, The Force Awakens, 2015. With a combined, force of nostalgic moviegoers and kids who grew up on Star Wars able to now freely indulge in their favorite story, Disney's launch of a continued story far, far away, with familiar faces like Luke, Leia and Han Solo and new ones like Daisy Ridley's Rey and John Boyega's Finn, was an almost undisputed hit. Let's not talk about the response that happened in later films, lest we get sucked through a wormhole back to the worst timeline of internet discourse. Still, Force Awakens slapped and made more than $2 billion. 4. Titanic, 1997. The only non-franchised or existing IP films to grace the list of top-grossing films of all time, unless you count the actual Titanic as IP. Introducing an entire generation to a young Leonardo DiCaprio should really earn you all the money in the world, but hey, more than $2.2 billion isn't far off. To this day, Titanic isn't just the only non-IP film in the top 10 highest-grossing movies of all time, but the top 40. 3. Avatar, The Way of Water, 2022. It took 15 years to get a sequel to James Cameron's Avatar, which meant the already stunning visual effects of the first were better, leading more people to descend into a kind of depressed mania that they couldn't plug themselves into the world of the Na'vi. Look it up, it's a real thing. Quite simply, no films have been more tailored to the big screen, which is why this sequel immediately skyrocketed into the top 3 highest-grossing movies of all time with more than $2.3 billion at the box office. 2. Avengers, Endgame, 2019. The endgame to end all endgames, until Marvel ups the ante with its next phase of superhero team-ups. It's natural that the culmination of more than a decade of movies would prove to be Marvel's crowning jewel, immediately launching to second in the ranking of highest-grossing films of all time. It simply clicked and earned more than $2.7 billion. 1. Avatar, 2009. It will take a lot for James Cameron's Avatar to be punted from the top spot of the highest-grossing movies of all time. Many have tried, but in the 16 years since its release, only a handful have got close. A sequel came 15 years later, and we're due to get another 3, meaning this list could shape up to be a one-man party before long. A feast for the eyes in every single way, Avatar became the cinematic event of the decade, and with $2.9 billion racked up at the box office, it's likely to remain it for another decade to come.